Hi, welcome back. Welcome to Attract Mode presented by Lady Arcadehurst. I'm Brooke. I'll be your host for today. Uh, Lady Arcaders is an all-women's gaming collective. We welcome women who are interested in gaming at all, speedrunners, developers, casual fans alike. In addition to our cozy private community, we run weekly showcases on our Twitch channel as well as larger charity events throughout the year. Today, we have a very special showcase. We have Fashion Police Squad by Abbie's Corner, with comms by the one and only Danjerus. So, if they are ready, then we can take it away, I guess.
Well, hello there, everybody. How are we doing? That's right. Today is a special day as a mod team for Speedrun is presenting the game to you here. How you doing today, Dangerous?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm ready to show off some fashion and also fixing fashion crimes. So, without any further ado, in 3, 2, 1, let us begin the run.
Good luck.
So this game is what's known as a boomer shooter. So in the style of like Doom 1993, Wolfenstein, there's actually some references to some of the classic first-person shooters of the 90s. Obviously, this is not as graphic. This is more comedy than anything. So we're just running past enemies. We're actually not going to be doing very good at our job of fixing fashion mistakes. We're going to be running about, trying to get to the end of levels as fast as possible, which means not fixing any fashion mistakes, really. Except for right now, because we're kind of forced to do this one. There we go. And head over to the ribbon. Don't worry, we won't be cutting it. Like I said, we're not going to be doing our job well. So we're going to jump up on this...
officer ever.
Indeed. And then we're going to run over here. Again, there's going to be tons of glitches throughout the run. And we're also going to meet the scooter bros who say, hey, I'm walking here, get out of my way, as they basically drive into me every time. So it's like, I tried very hard to avoid you, sir. You're the ones getting in my way. Sometimes they can give you a boost, which is nice, but typically you want them nowhere near you because the chances of that are kind of random. And now we are getting ready to slap the fashion into them. So this is basically like a one-hit kill. It'll also kind of warp you to them, or speed slide, I guess. And there we are. Hopefully I hit them all. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Yay, we did it. And that's the end of level 1. Of 13, technically 16, because there's 3 bonus levels that we unlock.
Well, we don't worry about them in any percent.
Exactly. However, you can do them in levels. If you just want to, like, give the game a shot by doing individual levels, you could do those bonus levels. There we go, there's the boost I was mentioning. That one usually gives you a boost a good percentage of the time.
That was a small boost, though.
Indeed. That jump I just performed, it doesn't seem possible on the console versions. I tried it on Switch and the game was just like, no, please stop attempting. And it's like, oh, but I want to. I need speed.
Right here?
Yep. This
Nice.
is like the 3rd time I've done this.
Yeah, so this is a strat that actually we didn't even know about when I did this at AGDQ, and we only found out about this later on. Uh-oh. Oh, you put back in bounds.
Oh, crap.
Restart mission.
Yeah.
They
Good.
restart mission.
Good job.
Or,
it's
I think
restarted.
you actually are okay here. I think it'll start you back from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. Okay. But
Yay.
yeah, so you have to jump a little bit close. You have to be in the building shadow in order to do it. So for those of you that don't know, this is a new strat that we only discovered a little bit later on after the AGDQ run because of we got a runner named Mini Rop who had been running the game kind of off and on since launch. Was watching the run and he said, oh, this is a really outdated strat, and then showed us the video of the newer strat, which is one, like 20 seconds faster, and two, incredibly safe because you don't have to do a really risky jump anymore. And I just taught Abbie the strat, I think 20 minutes before this run started. So this is brand new. So yeah, you gotta run, you're gonna jump over a little, yeah, right here, and then get in the building shadow, jump, and then go the other way. Through here, back up, turn around. There you go, this way.
There we go. Okay.
You got it from here.
There we go. Okay. Yes. Like Dane said, it's been like 20 minutes since I've known this, and it's like,
Yeah, so this is brand new, so this is the only reason why she doesn't quite know it yet. But with time and practice, of course.
now we have the belt, which is very necessary. There's another strat here that a lot of runners do. I'm very much confused about it, and I also miss a checkpoint if I attempt it. So I'm just going to do this the old-fashioned way, which is playing Batman and just swinging about.
Yeah, getting on the roof, you can basically get on the roof of the building using these nodes, but the problem is that with an analog stick, it's actually kind of hard to get enough movement, like directional movement with your vector to do it properly. So it's probably just going to be safer to swing and bounce, which is cool because then you get to see all the grapple movement a lot more before we get to the end of the game. So this is a new strat where Abbie's going to take out all of these enemies, and she's going to take out the last one while also triggering the next fight before some dialogue starts.
Come on.
And run. And so by triggering this dialogue before or after these enemies spawned in, you actually bypass the next objective marker, and you can just go straight into the headquarters. You're supposed to do that fight before you can do this, but toying with the checkpoints like that makes it so we can skip that last fight. And that was something that we didn't even know about at the GDQ run either. That was found that was told to us at the same time that we found the other strat.
Yes. The game is very different than when it was 2 months ago. Because we've just found a lot of stuff, plus there are a lot of new I would say
a few new runners, yeah.
Like
Metal Box, A-Catters, we got a few new people.
Yeah, so a lot more has been able to be discovered because of that. Now we're just fighting the boss, and of course I think he says cookie numbers half the time because my hearing sucks, but he's saying rookie numbers.
He said, those are rookie numbers.
Yes, but he sounds like Cookie Monster at the same time, so it kind of works.
He a little bit does sound like Cookie Monster.
So now he has a shield of these guys. So on New Game Plus, you actually get to use the wardrobe launcher with infinite ammo, so basically you can just blast through everything and not need to worry about a thing.
Although Hugo actually can't be harmed by the
Yes.
wardrobe launcher, so you have to fight him the hard way. But all the little ads in the arenas can be taken out with the wardrobe launcher, and that shortens this fight pretty considerably.
It's very weird that they decided that Hugo can't be touched by the wardrobe launcher, but the final boss, it's just like, yeah, take him out with the wardrobe launcher from start to finish.
It is a little weird, although the fact that you're hitting the drone, not turncoat himself, is probably part of it. But we can talk about that when we get to that.
Yes. Although I don't know. Oh god. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but Chapter 8 can't be dealt with wardrobe launcher either, can he?
Yes. Ooh, underscore swagman underscore send or underscore senpai underscore swagman.
Yes.
The man.
So by stealing all that color, we get a super shotgun, basically, for a brief moment. So that's why I take care of the doll suits before dealing with the scooter bros, because I steal the color from the scooter bros, and since you need to use the shotgun to deal with the doll boys, you deal with them first, then deal with the scooter bros.
You keep all 7 of your supercharged shots that way.
And that was level 3. That's the fun thing about this game. The first half of the game goes by super quick, using the various glitches and whatnot, but then the back half kind of takes a little bit.
It's interesting how the first 8 levels take the same amount of time as the last 5.
And now we're going to see a new enemy here. Actually,
We should meet 2 new enemies here.
yes, I was just about to say that. I was like, wait a minute, and then I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 new ones.
Yes, because we're going to meet the Karens, and then we're going to meet, oh nice, I got that before the cutscene, or
That's a pretty tight
dialogue.
timing window to actually get the get that before the dialogue pops up.
Yes, I can't get there is a way to skip that dialogue completely, but I have a bit of trouble with
That
it.
skip is difficult with a mouse and keyboard, so doing it with an analog stick has got to be like infinitely harder.
I was going
On the
to...
light to get up here a little faster, but it's kind of the timing is weird, and sometimes it's just easier to run around instead. You only lose a couple seconds that way.
Yeah, I decided to give it one try, because I have been able to get it in the past, but it was like, I don't want to like spend too much time trying to do it, because it is not that much of a time save. So now we have Karens running about, and they don't like us. They threaten to call the real police, whatever that means, because we are the real police in this city. Jump down here. It is a bit faster than running through the building to jump down. One thing about the fine ladies here is that you need to use the thread gun, or you can belt them. So that's typically what you want to do, is belt them so that you can continue to shoot the dolls. And I'm going to grab this health just because. And then skip. Don't deal with the tourist because we can reload a checkpoint to get the third weapon.
Yeah, so the strat here is that basically every time you meet a new enemy that requires a new weapon, you don't have the weapon. So what you have to do is shoot the enemy with a weapon that doesn't work, and then Haley's like, wait a minute, you need this weapon, pull out this one. Well, you can bypass this little fact if you go up to the very next checkpoint, reload, the game will give you that weapon. The problem is that if you reload checkpoint again later on in the level, or if you skip this checkpoint and go to the next one, the game will not give you the weapon. And functionally, I mean, for a level like this, where we're getting the sock gnome, which is what we use to beat the tourists, there's going to be 2 in this arena. So if we didn't have the sock gnome, we'd be totally soft locked at this point. So the fact that we have the ability to reload checkpoint and get a weapon that is otherwise not given to us is kind of an important fact. Without that, we would be having to play through the game in a lot more of a conventional fashion. Granted, this level wouldn't be that bad. It's only going to be like a 2-second time loss or so. It's nothing super tragic, but it's later on in the later levels, you kind of need to be able to reload checkpoint because you can save about a minute that way.
Yes. There's another weapon we will have later that we can do the reload checkpoint strat with, and it saves us so much time. But that's not till mission 6. So we'll worry about that when that comes. Now comes the shortest level in the game, if you can pull
Well-
off the skip.
Chapter 7 is a little faster, but
Okay,
That's-
fair.
that's if you're willing to go for it. It's a really difficult strat, but it makes the level about 23 seconds long.
So we use the sock gnome on that guy because we can actually run away, because they're just going to do their thing. So that gives us to 94, and then we're going to blast the dolls. Did I? Ah, there you are.
I'm
was
behind
like-
the other one.
Gotta love it
basically
when
we-
that happens.
Yeah, we're trying to charge up the Fab Slap, and you start the level with 92% with a 92% charge, and the idea is that you have it fully maxed out when you get to this arena. By skipping a few enemies, we can just take out a few here, do that Fab Slap, and then you just saw her jump over that that invisible wall, and that skips about 90% of the level just by jumping over that wall. It's kind of funny.
I forget if you can deal with the tight suits. Can you deal with the tight suits in this level, or is that not till next level?
You meet the tight suits in level 4, but you can. I mean, you just slap them, so. I mean,
Yeah, you
can.
slap them, but I meant like deal with them.
Oh,
like, regularly.
like conventionally. Yeah, you meet them in the last level, so by the time you get to this one, you have the grenade bomb in your arsenal.
There we go. And then we
You have to
have
give you that ability.
the manager, which is just two doll guys in a suit.
I do enjoy when you get a manager and a Karen in the same arena because I just want to be like, well, she was looking for you, sir.
Yes. Also, fun fact, if you don't deal with the tight suits, they will run in this cutscene and they will explode and you will get speed, but it doesn't matter because we're locked in a cutscene.
Yeah, the
And
cutscene
so
breaks a little bit. It's kind of funny.
And now we're on to level 6
This is the level that changes everything.
and introduces game-breaking mechanics.
Yeah,
Come
up to
on.
this point, every instance of getting out of bounds has been just by jumping over, just by basically fancy platforming. We can jump over invisible walls, land on collision that we're really technically not supposed to be standing on. But funnily enough, the developers actually left some of that out of bounds in the game on purpose for speedrunners, knowing full well that casual players were never going to actually find that stuff like on their own. And in this level, we're actually going to get a weapon that lets us break the mechanics a bit more. It's called the drip cannon, and basically what it does is it fires these decals at whatever surface you're aiming at, and if you run across those decals, it will give you a speed boost. And so you want to use this wherever you can to gain speed. But then, funny thing that happens, even the developer, the lead programmer for the game, Mika Kanerva, I asked him, you know, how does this work? Like how are you able to clip through collision using this weapon? And he said he didn't even know. Like, even the lead programmer didn't know how it worked. And you got it.
Whoops. There we go.
There we go. That's a good one. There you go.
And then by
But
reloading
even he didn't
here-
know how to do it, and so we sort of are assuming that you're basically putting enough of these decals into the arena that you're affecting the game's the tick rate. And if your tick rate kind of breaks from the game's physics engine, the player can just basically pass through collision unhindered, which is how Abbie was able to go through the wall in this case. The in-game lore reason that we've concocted for our head cannon is to you're basically you're soaking the wall or the floor so much that the edges just dissolves, and that's how you go through it. That's our head cannon. It's not true, but that's what we tell ourselves to believe it.
Yes. And I'm just doing an old strat because the new strat is
The new strat's
confusing
really
to me.
tough. It's very tough. There's a really weird set of collision that you have to pass around. Like, you have to jump around it, and with it, if you have your sensitivity like maximum, it would be very tough to do that. Why did you load checkpoint there?
Because there was an extra yeeter that causes trouble that I forgot about until I jumped back over.
Yeah.
Yes.
You gotta do this fight because the door won't even open, and the final, like the end level trigger doesn't spawn in. And a fun fact is, on New Game Plus, you start out the game with a default movement speed, plus you get the movement speed buff from the drip cannon, and so you can actually go so fast that you can get into the train before the doors close, and like you don't even have to. Like, you're not even breaking the game. Like it's a totally in-game mechanical thing. Like you're not breaking anything, you're not cheating or using any glitches or anything. It's just the game's got us really, they just didn't plan this out very well, I don't think. You can get into the train before the doors close, but the end level trigger doesn't spawn, so you have to do this entire fight basically shooting through the door, and that's effectively a soft lock. it's I mean, you could do it, but it's really difficult, and you're gonna lose a ton of time if you try to do that in the run.
Yes. And now comes probably the hardest glitch in the game.
Oh, easily the hardest.
But it
This
also
is called
saves
interstellar skip.
so much
And you're
time.
coming for it? Nice.
Yes, I'm
I
gonna
wasn't
go
sure
for
if you were gonna go for this or not. All right. So Abbie's gonna soak the wall. She's gonna jump through it.
and back in.
You can back
Sometimes
in,
you
but-
can get back in, sometimes you can't.
Yeah, there's like some really wonky collision inside the back of the train, and you can get stuck in it.
And sometimes you can just fall through the door, fall through the floor. Like that.
Yep, just like that. So what she's trying to do basically is, like, if you get stuck in the wall at a certain angle, like, or in a certain spot rather, the game will kind of teleport you upward. It's the same thing that causes you, if you like run directly into an enemy, the game will teleport you on top of the enemy, like you'll stand on their head, which is really funny. It's the same kind of idea here. The game doesn't want two pieces of collision standing inside of one another, so it will just teleport them so that they stack vertically. And so what she's doing is she's soaking the wall, and she's trying to get stuck inside the wall collision in a certain way in order to get teleported on top of the train. And then once she's on top of the train, she can jump onto the tunnel. So it's deceptive because, I mean, you're on a subway train. You know, you can see the tunnel moving by. It looks like the train is moving, but what's actually going on is the train is static and the tunnel is moving. So the tunnel is this constantly shifting thing. It's deceptive because it looks like the train is moving. It's a little trick of the eyes to make you think that you're on a moving train. And so because that tunnel is moving, you can jump onto the tunnel, like onto part of the collision of the tunnel, and it will carry you to the end of the level, because the whole level is kind of made as a big U, and you can close the loop if you jump on the train tunnel and let it carry you over to the end. But it's a tough jump to make, and this is easily like one of the run killers of the game.
Yes. As the game is just like, no, I'm not letting you do this today. And it's like, please?
This is not your fault. This trick is tough. And I'm sorry. Divine and I are sorry for finding it.
Yes, Divine is the one who finds the majority of glitch. See, I didn't even jump there. The game was just like, no, you're falling through the floor.
Yeah, you might have been aiming a little bit too low. If you aim a little bit low, it will sometimes get the floor in the physics collision. Yeah, I always aim like in the the spot I aim is always the same every time. Like it's a very, very specific spot. It doesn't have to be that specific, but I aim in that very specific spot.
There
every
we
time, just
go.
to be sure. Nice. Okay, this is what we're going for, is trying to get on top of this train. And now she's gonna jump into this.
No!
Oop, you jumped out way too soon.
I thought I was good, and then no.
You gotta count. You gotta count to like one really long Mississippi, and then you can jump out. It's very. This trick consists of multiple difficult things you have to do back to back, so it's easy to miss something somewhere.
There we go.
Nice.
Okay.
Twice in a row.
Jump.
Oh, and that can also happen. So the reason why that happens is because she's basically jumping onto one of those I-beams. It's like the tunnel's a series of I-beams on the side. Well, the I-beam collision model is a V, in order to kind of it's not an actual eye, but it's shaped as a V because it's a collision model for an out of bounds object. They're not going to make it that precise. And basically, what you're trying to do is you're trying to jump into that V. The problem is that the V is very narrow, so it's very easy to miss the spot like that and get pushed to the outside of the V and get just like yeeted into the abyss. So you gotta time it. This is easily the toughest trick in the game. I didn't even get this my first try when I did this at a marathon for the first time, or showcase rather. I still goof this up, so this is tough.
Oh, now I'm stuck, aren't I?
Yep, you're stuck.
Darn
You
it.
can soak the wheel if you wanted to try, but it's not worth it. You can.
Yeah.
It's easier to just reload. All right, chat is sending you all of the energy.
Okay. I was able to jump back in. Okay, that was good. Okay. Come on. Nope.
Yeah, part of the difficulty with this jump is that you're basically you have to jump and then stop in the middle of the wall. And with
There
the
we
analog
go.
stick, there's very little slowdown. It's a little bit easier to do this with the mouse and keyboard because you can just let go of the forward key and you can actually even hold backward a little bit to kind of forcibly stop yourself in place. It's a little tougher with an analog stick because of the gradual movement, like the gradual movement progression of an analog stick. You got this.
Okay.
This is the one. I feel it.
Also, another thing that I do that other runners don't do is that I will keep firing till I'm up. A lot of runners will stop right as they go through. I find it a little helpful if you keep going.
Yeah, I've noticed you do that. I always just stop so I can like focus on the timing of the jump. that you can keep firing and focus on that timing is impressive.
No, that's not gonna work. Where am I?
You're under the train.
Okay, I'm under the
You're
train.
stuck. You are soft locked.
It was like, oh, okay. I'm stuck. I was like, okay, I'm not falling through the floor. Why aren't I falling through the floor? It's because I'm attached to the train.
This skip is like the most marathon unfriendly skip, and so like this is about par for what you would expect. Like, your typical runner doing this skip is probably going to miss it a few times, especially because Abbie's doing it on a more difficult control schema.
I got
were you
stuck
there.
Yes, I was.
Weird. That was a weird place to get stuck.
Yes.
All right, this is the one. I feel it. This is it.
Also, the weird thing is you can change your weapons during dialogue, and it's like, oh, okay. But you can't move. So it's like, oh, okay. Okay. And then I just, okay. Fine. It's fine.
The skip actually requires that you jump.
Okay. Let's try again. Okay. And jump. Okay, I'm on top.
Okay.
And then I'm there.
Oh.
Where the what?
Oh, I think you waited too long. I think the room passed underneath you.
Darn it.
You waited like 2 Mississippis.
I was like, I've waited enough time. No, you waited too long.
Yeah, like as soon as I hit that, as soon as I see that I'm stuck in that I-beam, I go 1 Mississippi and then I jump, and that usually is enough.
What the hell? Okay, I guess I went over and down because I hit the ceiling and then it was like, no. Okay. The last time we try. And... Really? Okay, fine. Fine, game.
The second to last time we try.
Because literally, it is skipping all of the level, basically.
Yeah, this saves about 3 minutes compared to running through the level like normal. And I think in 100%, this level's like 7 minutes long or something. 6 or 7 minutes.
I'm stuck, aren't I? Hold on.
Yeah, that's the same weird stuck you got last time.
Cursed level.
This skip is really cursed.
Okay, I'm gonna do it one more time because I can feel it. Okay, I'm on top.
Okay.
I hit it.
Okay.
There we go.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. We got it.
And then you
All
go
right,
like
so
this.
that takes us to the end of the level.
Whoops.
Oop. You got bumped against the wall. Yeah, you got. If you go too far to the right, this is what happens. You get quick warped. But the death plane only extends out part way through the track. So as long as you don't hit that kill plane, then you can just run to the end of the level without doing that last fight.
Also, fun fact, if you're dripping into the elevator, even if you let go of the trigger, it still drips.
Yeah. And you can go through the floor if you're aiming at the floor.
And now we meet
So this is,
Swagman.
This is the best boss fight in all of video gaming. Is this one right here. If you have not seen this boss's name is XX_UU_senpai_swagman_XX. And you think I'm joking, but well, his health bar is going to tell you all.
I usually call this split Cloud Is That You because you might be noticing that he's using a very iconic video game weapon. Come on. Of course you're going to teleport. There we go. And then go like that.
Yeah, so basically the way this boss fight works is he's got 2 health bars. The first health bar is depleted by using the drip cannon, and then once that health bar is depleted, he goes into this glitch out phase where he does one of a couple of different possible things. He'll glitch out where he turns neon like this, or he'll go dull, or he'll go large, and you have to use either the primary fire or the secondary fire on the shotgun, the 2-die-4, which is what we use to colorize enemies, or you have to use the tailor-made if he's large, and that will start to deplete his red health bar underneath the blue one, and then once you've depleted it to about a third, you'll enter an interstitial phase where you do a little mini game, and then you'll get another little mini game after the second third is depleted, and then after the third is depleted, well, then it's the end of the game. Also, we didn't really talk about auto-resing. That's something that's you saw happen during the first boss fight. If Abbie's health ever reaches 0 at any point during a fight, she'll they don't call it dying, they call it getting worn out. Also, Abbie, is your favorite animal a snake?
Snake.
I mean, Deal Hackerman. Anyways. So yeah, if your health drops to 0 at any point during a fight, you die / quote unquote get worn out. Well, the developers left a dev tool in the game where if you on a down patch of the game, you just have to press the T key. On current patch, they changed that so it's right control and T. Obviously, right control and T would be much slower than just pressing T, so we down patch for that, but also for various other reasons. And by pressing T, it'll just auto-res you. You go back to 100 health, and so it completely negates and trivializes all of the combat in the game for that reason.
Yes. It should also be noted that resing does not work on console.
Yeah, you need a keyboard for it, and there's no keyboard input on console. So if you run on console and you die / get worn out, you are loading checkpoint. And in some cases where we abuse the checkpoints to obtain weapons, that would mean you are effectively done, because that could be a soft lock depending on the level you're in.
Where are you? There we go. It should be also noted that the secondary fire does not work on him. You have to do this fire in order to hit him. He kind of, you know, uses his sword to block the shots.
Yeah, if you just hip fire the drip cannon, you'll damage him. But then if you ADS, he'll literally will take the sword and like Jedi lightsaber bounce them back off of him. It's kind of funny how he does that.
Hey chat, what's your favorite first-person shooter?
Is it Wolfenstein? It's Wolfenstein. So, oh, wrong way.
Is it wrong way?
Yeah, to the right first.
Oh.
Oh, you're doing a lot of backtracking.
Fair. I didn't know that that it was a set path.
Oh yeah,
I thought
we
it
have
changed.
a specific route for it, because you want to draw the shortest distance between each server. So the mini game here is you're breaking each 3 servers in order to. In the boss fight behind Senpai Swagman, he's got these 3 servers behind him, and each mini game breaks a server. So in this one, you're breaking these 3 servers in order to break that server right behind him. As you can see, it's going.
Oh, I am on the right one. I don't know how true it is, but I feel it's somewhat true. But if you sit there and you try to drain the color while he's glitching out, if he goes into neon, it will damage him. I don't know how true it is. It might be a conspiracy theory for all I know, but I do it every time.
I do believe that the neon hitbox, or actually I think any of his hitboxes will spawn in about, I think it's 30 frames before it's displayed on the screen. I forget exactly what it is, but the reason why you can damage him a little bit with the neon beforehand, assuming that you're in range. The reason why is because the neon, like the color drain attack, is it's basically a railgun. It's a tracking beam, and so it can do constant damage. And so it also has a bit of a hit scan property to it, so it'll kind of magnetize itself to your target, and so you can hit that hitbox. Assuming that you're aiming close enough to it, it'll kind of automatically track to the hitbox as soon as it spawns in, so you can do damage about half a second early. I forget the exact number of frames it is.
Oh, that was the right gun.
Assuming that it actually is neon.
There we go, the final game, where he's going to drop the hammer.
Yeah, those transition moments where he's kind of glitching out and whatnot. There's a specific time frame. So basically, the game rolls a random time for him to be in his kind of glitch out phase, and it splits those splits into 3 pieces essentially. Like each one is each glitch out is split into 3, and so you get sometimes you get really unlucky and you get a bad roll, and so he'll glitch out really quickly and then go back to normal, and you have to do the cycle again. It's unfortunate RNG when that happens. So here you're breaking the 3 nodes on the ban hammer, and yes, this is a ban hammer because it literally says ban on it. This guy really is a Reddit moderator.
Oh, there's the last one.
Oh, chat. What's your favorite first-person shooter?
I thought we already asked that question.
Well, the last one was your favorite animal because it's a Wolfenstein. This one's what's your favorite first-person shooter? Because I think for both of us, it's Call of Duty.
No. No. I will not be a part of that.
Fine, I'll make all the jokes then. So half the run's done. Now we do the other half of the run.
Yes, which should
The
go
last 5
shorter
levels.
because I finally figured out how to do chapter 10 skip. For a long
Another chapter
time,
10 skip.
for a very long time, because in chapter 9 and 10 there is a 3-minute section each where you have to shoot fashion criminals because there's a famous fashion show. Also, I don't want that. I still want that, and I still want that. And so you have to spend 3 minutes stopping the fashion criminals from ruining the fashion show and ruining the city's reputation. But there's a way to skip them. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to skip them because we are speedrunners. We don't have time to sit and wait for 3 minutes.
Yeah, these were, I think, some of the earliest things we were trying to figure out how to skip, because it's 2 3-minute auto-scrollers each, one in level 9, one in level 10. And almost immediately we were like, we gotta figure out a way to skip these, because this takes way too long. I think you let go of B too early.
Did I?
Yeah.
Or my controller was just being weird, which was also the case. I blame Epic Game Launcher for this.
Ooh, are you? Oh, you're not gonna reload. Oh, okay. You're playing it risky. Okay, I see you. So Abbie's playing a little risky here. Normally you load checkpoint to make this part a little safer, but all right, we're gonna play risky devil here. So by the way, that skip is actually really hard. Do not be fooled. That was actually made that look very easy. It's difficult even with a mouse. So GG's on that.
So, one thing about the drip cannon that we didn't mention is that we can actually damage multiple enemies. Neons we can damage big boy suits, aka loose suits, and we can also damage fire guys. So Neon Bros, the creepy old men with neon shirts. Unfortunately, we cannot deal with dolls with it, but there are several enemies that the drip cannon allows us to fight.
Yeah, and the logic is, if they're neon, you drain the color from them because you kind of wash it out with the water. With the loose suits, water will, of course, make like the material, the fabric, shrink. So you're shrinking the suits. So that's kind of the logic behind being able to damage multiple different types of enemies with it. So that should be.
There we go. Yeah.
I love how you left that tight suit alive the whole time. never dealt. Just let him run around and blow up CV bombs around you.
Yes. Why he has cover letter bombs, I have no idea.
Because CV bomb is that's a thing. Like if you're trying to apply to a bunch of jobs, you send out a bunch of CV bombs. Yeah,
I get it now.
That's the joke behind him having a CV bomb as his main attack. So now this is actually a pretty recent reroute. I'd say this is probably the last major skip that was found. Was jumping up onto this platform, and you want to do some really goofy platforming to get over here, and you land out of bounds. You're supposed to hit a kill plane, but if you go far enough, you can land out of bounds, and then you run around. So she's gonna run her way over here, get to a very specific spot, and is basically going to death warp back into the end of the level.
Oops, wrong way.
You have to. Yeah, I don't even know the pathway around here. Yeah, here you go. Okay.
We go get stuck in a wall.
Yeah, the old strat is actually, there's a spot back there where you do some really goofy collision juking. But instead, the new strat is to jump up here to soak this wall a little bit so you could kind of make the collision play a little nicer. It's not playing super nice right now. Almost.
Come on. You can do it.
You gotta soak the walls so that they're lubricated well enough that you can squeeze your shoulders right through it.
Come on.
Your water's passing through the wall. I think you gotta aim higher. Or you do that too.
Yeah. Come on. Come on. You can do it.
The model. Yeah, hold left or hold right, I guess. And aim there. Should. Oh,
There we go.
there we go. Nice. Okay, cool.
And then you want to
And then
make sure that this is nice and watered because we need the speed. If you don't get the speed there, and you'll know you'll have speed because you'll see the little lines happen. If you don't have the speed, you will just fall through the level.
Yep. And there's no kill planes underneath a lot of the levels. So like if you miss the kill plane, you have to reload checkpoint, and that is bad because that sets you back quite a ways.
And you also
yeah,
want to
this is-
stick to the left side here because if you don't stick to the left side, it'll kill you, and then you'll.
Well, that's only on this part. If you
Yeah.
stick to if you go too far to the right, before you make that big jump across the two platforms, it doesn't really matter so much. I run it straight on, and I never really have much of an issue. And now we're on a 3.5-minute auto scroller, 2.5 minutes, something like that. It's not an auto scroller. Technically, it's a rail shooter, but it's tough to really speed this part up. So basically, the whole gimmick is the guy that you've been chasing this whole game. He's now on that motorbike, running around. He'll hit, scan, dodge everything, but he's gonna send in a bunch of ads. So you're gonna have to either fire pins with the primary fire, or fire dive bombs with the alt fire to take care of all these guys. And the game, this section is cycle based. So essentially, what's happening is you have to take out a certain number of enemies in this particular wave, and then you'll see the environment shift, where basically like it'll constantly repeat until you finish this first phase. This roadway and the buildings around it will constantly cycle. Like it's just like a perpetual kind of auto-generated model in the environment. And then once you beat everything, you'll go around a left turn, and you'll be in a new area, quote unquote. And then you do another phase there, and then you go around and you get to the last area. So it's a lot of shooting enemies here. This is the spot in like GQ runs and whatnot where the host rattle off a billion donations because it's like the perfect spot to do it.
Yes. And at least he's nice enough to give us health.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to die in this part. That was a nice shot. I didn't think that shot was gonna work.
That was a good shot. Oh yeah, another fun thing is that auto scroll. So we skipped right when we're on the roof where we death warped back in before we got to here. You saw there was like, I don't know how well anybody saw it, but there was a sniper rifle on the roof, and the gimmick behind the game is you're supposed to take that sniper rifle and you're supposed to snipe a bunch of fashion crimes that you see going into the gala. Well, the way we get around that, or the old way that we used to get around that, is we charge up the fat completely, and then we could swing into the final area and activate the fat slap, and that would just kind of push our hitbox into the end level sequence, so we could skip that 3-minute auto scroller. Now we do the route that Abbie did that you saw her do. And the best part is we've actually found a way to skip both of those in 100% now, so we don't even have to do either of those auto scrollers in 100%, which thank God, because it was such an annoying pain in the butt to have to do that part. Yeah, this is where this is 1,000 enemies at you at once, which means we're getting close to the end of this sequence.
This might actually be...
That's
Yep, there we go.
Yes, as soon as you see the sidewalk kind of cave in, that's how you know it's the end.
And now we go crash on a boat.
Yeah, so if you want to turn to the left when we load in, you can show everybody. You saw we launched off that bridge like a ramp, and that car went flying through the air, and it lands in a cruise ship, and you probably just want to show everybody. It's better if they see it for themselves.
There we go. And I don't know why, but I like the fanny pack more than having better whipping power.
I use
So-
the whip so much in the last part of the game. I find that whip to be indispensable. So yeah, the car is kind of landed somewhere, and yeah, so this is a fun little skip. This is similar to the one we did in Mission 7, but this one's 1,000 times easier. You just have to soak the wall a good bit, and then you need a speed boost from the floor, and you can death warp right to the end level sequence. So all she has to do is just run this whole putting green to get to the last fight. Do the last fight, and then you can exit the level.
Yes. Although we miss out getting the wardrobe launcher, which
Yeah.
the game really wants you to use for this part, as you will see coming up, because there's going to be a lot of enemies.
Yeah, this last fight was designed for you to have the wardrobe launcher. But we don't have the wardrobe launcher because we skipped that. So you have to do this fight the hard way, and it is probably one of the tougher fights in the game just for that reason. I'd say this is probably actually the toughest fight in the run just because we don't have the wardrobe launcher. So again, all she has to do is hit T and reload. Oh, or you have to reload.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these guys, the Mr. Sputos, what they're called, they have two fashion crimes. They're wearing Crocs and they're wearing Speedos, both of which are against the Geneva Convention, as far as I'm concerned. And in order, basically, they have this ridiculous AOE attack where they'll like belly flop and hit the ground, and they send a tremendous amount of AOE damage, and they cause. You're gonna have to fight this guy the hard way.
That's fine.
So the way you beat this guy is you have to deal with him the same way you deal with a tight suit. You have to add material to him so that he actually wears like a proper bathing suit, and you have to send a sock gnome to steal his Crocs. Don't take anything in this game too seriously. Just FYI.
Come on.
So this is the second phase. You get a third phase here, which is a bunch of dual suits and a manager.
And he likes to spin.
Because
He likes to bring out his inner Zangief. That's right.
If you fully charge the belt and then shoot him, you actually do more damage with the 2-4.
Ah, I missed him.
Oh, you fired too early. That timing's kind of hard to set up. Mr. Sputo's attack is kind of the animation's weird. And it always looks like it's going to hit sooner than it does. Even to now, I still don't ever fully quite get the timing right on that in a lot of cases.
No, I need drip. There we go. Nope.
So this is the Guy Fieri enemy, and then you got this last phase here. This phase was clearly designed for you to shoot over the rocket. Like, they spawned in a ton of enemies, and they're all clustered up together. It's like, okay, yeah, this is very obviously supposed to be, you're supposed to shoot a rocket at them. And then 100%, we have the rocket launchers, so we totally do. It's far and away the fastest strat.
Also, when you knock off their glasses, you can take them, and it'll give you some armor.
Yeah, that's the manager. Manager is wearing a set of glasses, and when you shoot the manager and defeat him, he turns into two dual suits. His glasses come off, and the glasses are armor. You get 5 points of armor if you pick that up. And that's the whole fight. So now she's just got to get into the little vent pipe here.
There's a way to
nice.
not have to go into the vent pipe. I don't understand how it works at all.
You just stand against the back of the pipe and get on the platform. It's not hard, but it's just faster to jump in the pipe if you can get in there first. But if you miss the pipe, you can jump to the back of the pipe and get in that way.
And of course,
it works, but the way you did it was faster.
And of course, mission 12, we have another big skip because we're supposed to run through the ship to cut that. But nah, we're just gonna do that.
That skips probably 60% of the level. Are you? Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yes.
You're doing a slightly different setup than I do for this. Yeah, so by doing all that, we end up warping up out here. Now, the funny thing is, I don't know how well you can hear the music, but basically, by doing the skip that way, we pass a trigger line, like we skip a trigger line that's supposed to destroy the previous music assets, but we've hit the trigger line to spawn the new music assets. So we've got 2 music tracks playing back to back right now, like they're overlaying each other. So the music sounds really goofy in this spot. We'll cross another trigger line in a little bit that will, again, it'll destroy all previous music assets. So the music will kind of fix itself there. But up until that point, you got 2 tracks playing and it just sounds really odd.
To be fair, I never noticed the second track. I only noticed the combat track. There is a skip that you can do
the
here
other track is like quieter.
where
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
jumping on the boat. Don't do
yeah,
it.
I can't do it.
It's awful. It's awful. That skip is, we still don't even have a really consistent strat to get up there, but you can basically jump on top of the ship and then run to the end. And that will skip another drip clip that you have to do later on, but getting up on top, I mean, you wouldn't want to do that in a run. I mean, quite literally, it can kill your run. And we're near the end of the run at this point, so doing that would be really bad.
Yeah, so we're just gonna Batman.
Too much. Yeah, too much juice on that one.
There we go. Oh, come on.
Yeah, I heard somebody the other day like decry this game for having platforming in it, and honestly, like I don't get that argument at all because the platforming in this game is really well done. Like this part's cool. It'd be cool to skip it. I mean, we can, but like if you have to do some stuff. Oh, nice. If you have to do some stuff, like doing the platforming parts are cool. So
I didn't think I was gonna be right at the door. I thought it was gonna like put me back, but no, it was nice. For once, the game was nice.
The trigger's like right before the platform. I guess they figured if you missed the platform, they didn't want to make you have to redo that whole bit again. So you're supposed to do a fight here, but if you crouch into this corner and aim at the floor, a neon bra will eventually put you through the collision, just like that, and that skips the whole fight. You're crouched.
Oh, am I? Darn it. Come on.
And so this is the last fight before the end of the level. You're gonna do the hard way, okay?
I don't trust myself with the start doing wardrobe.
You do it on the dull phase.
Oh god, one of them is here and they've got superpowers. No.
Yeah, so basically there's an enemy called DJ Too Loud, and she is a buff for other enemies. She has her own attacks, but her purpose is more so to buff all the other enemies in the arena. And so you'll hear this EDM being surrounding the enemies. Basically, it's supposed to buff them so they have like, I think it's 150% health. It's very annoying to have to deal with. So you want to get rid of them very quickly. Luckily, we don't actually fight very many of them in any percent or New Game Plus. Well, New Game Plus, all the combat's trivialized because of wardrobe, but in any percent, we only meet 2 of them, and one of them, if you're quick enough, you'll actually get around having to fight them.
Yes, but surprisingly, it hit both of them, so I can't complain. Okay, hold on. I've got a wardrobe launch because... Oh, come on, really? I just didn't want to deal with her. Unfortunate! My aiming is...
I don't blame you.
A wee bit trash when it comes to dealing proper damage with the wardrobe launcher. If you go and watch any of the other runners, they are really good at utilizing their resources.
And to be clear, so this fight has 5 phases, and you have 4 rockets, so you have to fight one phase the hard way, essentially, like, because you only have 4 shots, so which of the 5 phases are you going to do the hard way? Most of us do the dual suit phase because it's easier to take everything out with the 2-4. You don't have to switch weapons as much, and you don't have to worry about juggling the fight so much. But even with 4 wardrobe shots, this fight still sucks. This is like easily one of the worst balanced fights in the game. And I don't fault the developers too much for that, because they even said like, yeah, we had some pretty bad crunch right at the end, so we weren't able to balance the back half of the game the same way. And you could tell because the back half of the game is really poorly balanced in comparison to the first. The first half of the game is perfectly balanced, I think. The back half of the game is not. And this fight is kind of indicative of that problem.
And now we are at the final boss.
Yep, this is the last boss fight.
What the? Oh. I was like, what's going on? There we go. So we need to use the drip to damage the drone. That is a very big drone to be able to lift a human being. I don't even know if we have drones that can lift human beings. Especially in the fashion that he is sitting. I realize that he's trying to bring out his inner Green Goblin, but still, I'm like, I don't think these things exist.
Eventually. We'll just say this takes place in the future and justify it that way.
Fair enough.
Also, it's a cartoon.
So, he's going to outfit change. Sometimes it's good to wait so that you can hit him, and so that he transforms back into that.
Yeah, definitely the safer of the 2 strats, dude.
So,
And in a bit of comedy heavy-handedness, you see that his name is Turncoat. As if the comedy wasn't salient enough, they just had to bludgeon you with that one. So there you go.
yes, his original name is Runtcoat. He is the brother of Deepcoat, and he wants revenge because their family couldn't afford giving them both the latest in fashion. Where is he? There he is. And so he wants revenge for being made fun of for having his brother's hand-me-downs. I can't... Oh, I did hit.
One of the stories of all time.
I thought I missed the raincoat, and so I was like, alright, we have to do this the long way, but apparently I hit him, and so it was all good. Also, some... one thing that we missed in Chapter 10 is Dez's glove malfunctioning.
Yeah.
We're about to find out why it was malfunctioning. Let's not stitch me up, shall we? So Haley's like,
Now you
hey,
can slap him.
you can slap him. And it's like, but we know it's a trap, because it's a trap. Because you see, that glove is a hand-me-down from Turncoat, because he made it, and he has the other one. So now he slaps us, and we become enemies. So we start as a doll boy. And we are
Similar to the Swagman fight. This is a situation where you have these mini games take place between phases of the fight. The difference is this fight is not well made, whereas the Swagman fight is very well made.
There we go. Oops.
Almost.
There we go.
Yeah, that airborne guy will move on you, and it's very annoying when he does that. Fun fact for folks at home, you can actually damage the drone with other weapons too. Like you can take out the TaylorMade and hit the drone, but it's faster to use the drip cannon because the alt fire does a lot more damage. So you can drain the health bar a lot quicker with the drip cannon.
I didn't know you could use the TaylorMade on the drone.
Oh, you can use sock gnomes on it too.
I didn't
You'll
know that
actually
either.
damage it with sock gnomes, which I think Divine found pretty early, which And he was like, "There's got to be a way we can use that." No, not really. It's just faster to shoot it with the drift cannon.
Who's ready for some Tony Hawk? I think we're all ready for some Tony Hawk.
We call this part Tony Hawk's Pro Scooter.
Now, a lot of runners will die, but that mixes me up. And by die, I mean fall off the edge.
Yeah.
As I fall off the edge anyway.
We did this route a little bit differently than the rest of us do it.
Also, you have to make sure that you have 10k points. Though granted,
Way
by
over
the
that.
time... Yeah, it's really easy to do, to be fair. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, on easy mode, it's 10k. On the second difficulty, it's 40k. The third difficulty, it's 80k, and the highest difficulty is 120,000 points, which takes a while to get. Kind of running around the arena for a little while.
Go.
And that is the end of the drip cannon for the rest of the game. No more drip cannon for the rest of the game.
Or is it? So here we have Deep Coat and Turncoat fighting each other using the power of the gloves, and then they overload the gloves and Turncoat becomes a monster. And can we get some F's in chat for Deep Coat? Because he
Deep
is
Coat
no more.
sacrificed himself to save Trendopolis.
So, well, Danjerus says it's the end of the drip cannon. I disagree.
Well, okay, if you want to run around the arena, sure, but you're not going to use it to fight anymore.
Touché.
So yeah, the premise behind this is he is now... I asked one of the developers if this iteration of Turncoat was like inspired by the Guardian from the Evil Within, the Evil Within 2, that enemy that's like made up of a bunch of different corpses, and they said no, but this all I think of is that to me, and so he's got that protective shield up. Well, that shield is going to block all damage, and the only thing you can damage him with right is the rocket launcher. Problem is that you don't have a lot of ammo for it, so what you have to do is you have to wait for Haley to drop ammo for you. And the way that we've looked into the code of the game, she will only drop ammo after Turncoat's done 3 attacks, and only if you're holding 0 or 1 rockets. So you want to be emptied of rockets pretty quickly. Like, you want to make sure you don't have a lot of rockets in your inventory. That way the scaling starts, or the cycling starts for her dropping another box of ammunition. And we have screwed around with this stupid phase of this fight over and over, and unfortunately there's just a chunk of RNG that we're never going to be able to work around, because some attacks take longer than others, and so if he does a bunch of really long attacks, you're going to lose 7 seconds per cycle, and not much you can do about that. You're just kind of screwed. Mr. Rocket.
Oh, did I? I did. That's fine.
Yeah, then he also has 3 phases similar to the other bosses. He'll do this growl noise. I didn't pay attention to it, or I would have pointed it out. But that growl is when he does a phase change, and every time he does a phase change, it takes 1 more attack for Haley to drop ammo. So it starts out with 3 attacks before she drops ammo, and then by the end of the fight, he has to go through 6 attacks before she'll drop more ammo. Luckily, there's a way to manip that, kinda. I mean, you can partially manip it, but it's not. It doesn't do much, unfortunately. Like, you can only manip it so much. Sadly, you are at the mercy of RNG for a lot of this. You would just drop another pincushion. There we go. Take, I think, 1 more box to finish him off.
Anytime now. Oh, cool.
There's pincushion, and this should be.
There we go. He is
Time is coming up in
defeated.
about 10 seconds. As soon as we get the fade out and loading pops up on the screen, that's time. It'll be
Time.
time. Very good. GG's.
Yes. It is done. We
Were
have
you running
saved.
live split on that one, by the way?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say you should have run live split and seen what your in-game time was.
2 months later, things happen. What was my time? 106.
RTA, yeah. So it's like a 103, something like that. I think when you take out loads.
So he
Something along
donates to
those lines.
charity, and Deep Coat gets a giant gold statue with smoke effects and whatnot. And that was Fashion Police Squad. It's all,
Alright, GG.
yes. Dangerous, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitch. I stream at twitch.tv/dangerous. I do a whole bunch of different types of runs. This time I'm taking a little break from this one for the time being. But yeah, I'm also on Twitter at dangerous. If you wanna, at dangerous TV. If you wanna follow me there.
Yes.
And
And
Abbie, where
Abbie,
can
how
people
about
find
you?
you?
Yeah.
You can find me on twitch.tv/Abbie's Corner. You can find me on Twitter at Abbie_Brander. I also have a podcast, which Dangerous was on a few weeks ago, Speedrunners and Coffee. As a matter of fact, the great Metroid Crime was on yesterday, as her episode released yesterday. As every Saturday new episodes come out. You can also find me on co-host at Abbie's Corner. Yes, all my platforms have different names, because I have to be that person.
It do be that way sometimes.
And then, of course, the 3 challenge levels unlock after various points as well. But yes, this was Fashion Police Squad. The very fun first-person boomer shooter, even though I don't think a single person who worked on the original Doom is a boomer. I'm pretty sure they're all Gen X. Just saying. But yes.
Shoutouts.
Oh yeah, sorry, Dan. Do you want to go?
I would say, Abby, do you have any shoutouts?
Yes, I'd like to thank Dangerous for coming on today. He is the reason I run this game, believe it or not. Of course, shoutouts to Divine for finding all the glitches, even though Dane is like, please stop. Shoutouts to Metalbox. If you wish to run this game, we have a Discord. You actually, again, have been listening to the entire mod team for the speed run on SRC. The community is great. We have resources and whatnot. And yeah, the game is fantastic. So if you want to give it a try, come and say hi.
We might have a tutorial soon, just saying. We might have one coming up soon. Just gonna say that. Yeah.
Yes. Might have a tutorial soon and whatnot. But yes, that'll do it for us today.
Alright, thank you so much, both of you, for coming on.